here. Okay, back with another live stream. As usual, got to make sure it's all working. So get over here and, well, I forgot to switch. You can just look at me. That's better than looking at
As usual,
anyway. Got to make sure it's all working. So get over here and hear it that good. Well, I forgot to switch. You can just look at me. That's better than looking at
As usual,
anyway.
got to make sure it's all working.
Okay, so get over here and hear that's good. Now, I forgot to switch. Let's go to better than looking at
as usual. You got to make sure it's all working.
Okay, so get over here and hear that's good. Now, no, streaming from my Lenovo i5.
As usual, you got to make sure it's all working.
Okay, so get over here and hear that's good. Now, I think I'm gonna switch streaming from my Lenovo i5.
As usual,
getting a bad echo. Okay. Oh, that's not gonna go where I want it to. I'm not showing you that anyway, but that's all right. Just going around in circles, messing up. Okay, clicking on the wrong stuff. Okay, so you see you had time to read the screen, hopefully. It's the best I can do. My cameras just won't do that great, pointing at a screen. But, okay, so I'm on my Lenovo i5 that I used to use, as my main computer, streaming 1080p, and on my server, if I was streaming on it, I'd be 1440, 4K, because it can handle all that. And I have one 4K camera. So, but when you use OBS Studio, you can set your palette size, and then everything fits, and then put everything in there the way you want it. So, but that's not what this is about. I got a cramp on my left ankle a minute ago. I got up or got down or did something. Man, it hurts still. Walked around on it a bit, but it kind of loosened up some. You have a clue of what I did. Okay, so I'm looking at the monitor. It's a 43-inch TV. I've got two monitors, the little 1080, 23-inch and a 43-inch. So I can read it good up there. Kind of confusing when I got both things to look at. Okay, so it's HP DL380 G7 server. It's got two 6-core processors with hyper-threading. That's 24 cores. It shows up to the your operating system. 64 gig of RAM. I have an 8 gigabyte video card, and that's my main machine for I don't know how long now. Year, more than a year. Can't remember when I first started using it. Anyway, today it let's see. Well, you can see this stuff. I'm not going to try to read every bit of it, but it has integrated lights out ILO that you can see what's going on. And the IP address, I need to remember that, 192.1. I better just write it down. I'm going to try to go there in a minute. That's why I want to keep opening into my mic. Don't have room with all this. I've got two keyboards, two mice, and my SM58 hanging over my keyboard. Okay. I'm having to write it down because as soon as I get away from there, I won't, Actually, it's probably up there the whole time I'm doing this, but anyway, I don't want to lose it. 192.168. Can't see. .0. Okay, now. Yeah, I wrote that horribly. I'm holding a sticky notepad in my hand. It keeps bending. Okay. 1, 6, 8. Yeah, okay, now I think I'll take it off of the pad and just put it up there. Now, so yeah, I may go into ILO. Okay, now I didn't. Now this is where it stopped when I was booting up. I would have meant to say that from the beginning, but this is where it stopped, and it's been sitting there for. Gosh, I've been getting everything set up for 2 or 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. I don't even know anymore. I lost the track of the time. Okay, it's more than that. 8. I think I started around somewhere between 8, 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock. Now it's 2:18 a.m. Oh, yeah, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 5 hours. That's how long it took me to get everything set up. Of course, it was a little bit different because I had to go back to the old machine, but, man. But I did kind of take my time and get everything right, so make sure everything was going to work. Because the last I've been having trouble with, audio drop quitting and stuff like that. Not using my Bluetooth deal anymore. I went back to my Wi-Fi audio. So I had to check the phones, clean the cache, and do all that stuff. And setting up 2 phones for cameras, my 4K camera, and 1 phone for audio on the if I want to get up and move, if I need to get up and move around, like go to the closet when I go to reboot it and stuff. So anyway, if nothing else, I was able to take a screenshot of that. So, well, I've got it in different places, but anyway, I've got a new screenshot of that. Press F1 to continue, F9 for the ROM-based setup utility, press F10 for the system maintenance menu, and F11 key for default boot override options, press F12 key for network boot. Now, it kind of stopped there for a couple of times this last week. I've seen it kind of stop there for longer than usual and then go ahead and boot. And what I did immediately is I just said, okay, I'm going to press F9 or F10. I tried F9, I think. Maybe I changed my mind. I said, no, I'm going to F10, and my keyboard wasn't working. I looked down at my mouse, and it's not working. It wasn't working. So the thing is I'm basically running my keyboard and mouse through 2 USB hubs now because I had to extend. I've got about a 25-foot cable coming from the server to the USB 3.0 hub, and it's also got 2 charging ports. And then from so I plug in my KVM USB cable, which goes to my KVM switch, and it in itself is a hub. It's a 2.0 hub. It's got 2 extra USBs you can plug into, and here. Let me see if I can just switch to that camera. I think I can do that. A camera that can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, now there it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and try unplugging the power from it. I leave all my cameras plugged in so they won't run down. Okay, there's my USB 3.0 hub. You can see the cable curling around there and going into it. So that's the source of a problem, maybe. I've had this happen a couple other times. And there's my KVM switch. It's a 4-port. So it comes from the server to the 3.0 hub because I needed more USBs. The server has 4 USBs, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, but I needed more. So I went ahead and got that. And I usually leave my keyboard and a little dongle for the wireless keyboard because I started leaving it in there because sometimes either there or over on the machine, but when I'm doing video on that machine, then I have to unplug that dongle. I have to plug in my camera over there. So sometimes that's what the problem is as far as the keyboard not responding, I think. Not sure. At this point in the boot menu, let's go back to where I was. I may be fixing to backtrack on what I just said because let me plug this back in. I've only got 2 long cables, so I had to unplug this one to be able to move it. Now, sometimes that'll kill the camera though when I do that. It seems okay. If it's quit, it's not the most important camera. All right, but at this point in the boot menu, well, okay, the keyboard should respond, right? Because it's telling you what keys to use, unless it doesn't until it goes on pathset or something, but that kind of wouldn't make sense. Yeah, at this point, I would expect the keys to work because they're showing you what keys to do. So the keyboard wasn't working. Usually, whenever my keyboard's plugged directly into my KVM switch, then it goes to the USB hub and then onto the server. The 3.0 USB hub. The server it's only, it was made in 2011. It has USB 2 as well. But I thought, well, when I got one, they weren't much more, so kind of future-proof myself a little bit. So it's happened several times where my main keyboard with the USB keyboard wouldn't respond. It wouldn't do anything, the mouse or the keyboard. And my mouse is a Microsoft IntelliMouse, and it's got a big red light on it. You can tell when it's activated. Sometimes the KVM switch, you can switch to a different machine. I got it in. It's about 20 years old, or maybe not quite that old, but that's how long I've had it. It's great. Still works, but once in a while, it started doing it after, I don't remember, not a year or two. Started noticing it a year or two, maybe 5 years after I first got it, that sometimes it didn't take when you'd switch to different machines, but all you'd have to do, or it would just hang up and not do anything. And so all you have to do is get to a machine that's working, and then go back to one machine that doesn't have any problems, and then go back to the one, if I have another one running, or I can boot one up, and then go back to that one, and because you can put it around and around and around all you want, but if you don't get it to activate, then it just won't do it. I used to try unplugging it and plugging it back in and stuff, and it didn't really help, from what I remember. So anyway, so I'm kind of wrestling around with, I may have two problems, but I have two problems, but I'm not sure why. Okay, so I have my wireless keyboard plugged in. I unplugged it and plugged it back in during all this setting things up. I may have had it unplugged. I don't remember, but yeah, I unplugged it for some reason, and so I thought, well, then I remembered I have to have it. So I plugged it back in. Oh, I unplugged it and I plugged it into Lenovo, and then I remembered, well, with my KVM switch, I have to be on the Lenovo with my KVM switch in order to see the monitor. It won't show up. So then I remembered, oh yeah, I have to use the wireless on the server, and actually that's what I really wanted anyway. So I put it back because that's the one that might work. That's what I'm trying to say. The wireless might work. So up and down key. Well, there's the cursor's blinking at the bottom there. So let me see. ROM-based utility system maintenance. Okay, I don't think I need to go into maintenance. I think, okay, I forgot part of my important stuff here. In the middle there, slot OHP Smart Array P410i Controller, 1024 megabyte, 3 volt, 352 volts. That's a gig of backup, like save power, and it does happen nowadays way too darn often. The power will just go out. Sometimes I don't have a battery backup setup that works right now. I actually have two old ones and I have two big ones and one little one. None of them are working right now. Well, the one outside I don't have batteries for them. There's one out in my van, and I've got 8 diesel truck batteries in the back of it, and that's a whole nother thing. But it works. I was using it I used to run computers in the van just for the fun of it off of that thing, and it ran about 2 hours. Regular old CRT monitor and a P3, P4, something like that. So anyway, and that's only on 2 of those batteries too. The rest of them weren't even hooked up. So somebody gave me the batteries. Okay, so 3 logical drives, 1797 slot O, drive array accelerator, data backup previously failed. Now that's been saying that forever, and I thought, well, array accelerator is disabled, and I thought, well, and I just didn't want to mess with it. I figured the battery in the server may have, worn out, quit charging, and it just turned itself off. But I don't know for sure because I never even tried. So I thought this is a good chance to go ahead and go in there. And as I was thinking about that, I thought, well, it's a good chance to show the last video I did about the server. Fedora, I'm running Fedora 32, Fedora Linux 32 on it, and it's actually, what are they, 34 now? I've been, I need to update it because 32 is end of life now. So, but before I, do all that, I wanted to show what I had a couple of videos on where same problem with my keyboard. It wouldn't respond. It turned into my biggest problem when I was trying to figure out what was going on. My USB keyboard wasn't responding, and the wireless would work, and it took me a while to figure that out. So First, I'm going to hit F10. No, I'm going to hit F9. Hit F9. See if it'll work. I don't know if it'll pick it up or not since I have had it plugged in and then unplugged it, then plugged it back in, but it might. It has before. Okay, F9. Seems like it's not going to recognize it. We'll wait a minute and see. Of course, normally what I would do is just reboot it. Shut it down with the button on the front of the machine, hard shut it down, and then turn it back on. It would probably be just fine. But I wanted to, I've been meaning to make a video about these two things. The RAID controller, that's the RAID controller, P410i. They call it Smart Array, but it's a RAID controller. It's doesn't go into a PCI slot. Well, it does from what I understand, but it's call it an onboard PCI slot just for that card. I saw Morton, my Playhouse channel. He has a HP server that he talked about a lot about that. So, okay, so nothing's happening there with the. It's all turned on too. Okay, so it might have, but I won't know now. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and hit another key just to see, but I believe none of the keys are responding. Yeah, I don't think it's picked up the wireless keyboard. And when I plug the dongle back in, I put it in a different slot. Now that could be the problem. USB is so wonky. If something goes wrong with it, a lot of times you can unplug it from one slot and put it in another, and it'll catch it. But on this server, I'm kind of thinking it's the opposite. So I'm going to put it back. I'm going to put it back in the slot it was in to start with and see if it does anything. Okay, now what do I want? F9. This wireless keyboard is black. I can't see the numbers without, and they're smaller than my big other keyboard. It's bigger. Yeah, it's not going to do it. Okay, so let's see if we can go into ILO before I reboot it or anything. Just out of curiosity, let's go see if we can get into ILO. I can't remember what I have on this machine that might go into ILO. I'm pretty sure that this is Fedora. You have to have an old browser that supports Java 6. Now, I've been having to do it in a virtual machine is what I've been having to do. Yeah, this is Firefox. Oh, it's updated itself since I've had it running today. So yeah, this one won't work. Before I close it, I'll go ahead and check my stream again. Everything's a little cut off on this small monitor. There. Okay. I'll make sure that we got audio and we've got that. I don't know why that opens up like that. It should open up to stream health, not whatever that other stuff is. And I got to make sure I can hear me talk here. I don't know why that opens up. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so I know I finally found a browser that would. Am I on the desktop? Wasn't paying any attention. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I should be showing you the desktop. That's what I want. Okay. I do have GNU IceCat on there, but it's still a new version. Let's try it first because I know none of these other newer browsers will work. Let's see if it's. You have to, like I said, you have to have Java. At least have Java. There's two things you can use: Java and Microsoft.NET or something. And I couldn't. I tried both of them, and Java's the only one I could get installed. Even on the older, you need like internet. So what did I have to do? I finally went back to Internet Explorer in a virtual machine, and I went back to Internet Explorer 6 or 8. Can't remember now. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, this one has some quick. Let's see, disable JavaScript. So it's enabled in this browser. I think that's why I downloaded it. Yeah, most of this browser is kind of, for security. So yeah, it's pretty much everything in it's for. So I think I can go to 192.168.0.122. Secure connection failed. That's the problem you get. Report errors like this to help GNU block malicious sites. Yeah, they think it's going to be a malicious site. Oh, that's just that tells you. Oh yeah, see these newer browsers, they won't even. No, I don't want to refresh anything. They won't even let you say, "Oh, I know what the heck I'm doing. It's my own server. I want to go there." They won't let you. So this one won't do it. The only other thing I've got that I think would on here that might do it is let's see how the system resources are doing. They're doing good. I have been able to better close everything I don't need. Backup videos being made. Okay, so I'm going to try opening up VirtualBox. I don't remember what I have on here is the thing. React OS is what I've been using on my server. I don't have it on here, and I don't think this XP Virtual Machine works. That's what I used to use, but I had it. Let's just try to boot it up. Let's see what's in the test box. Let's see what's in there before I go. Just storage. I'm trying to boot it to a floppy. Last thing I was doing. The Bane. Okay. Bane 10. For some reason, I was probably trying to boot an IMG image that's for SD cards, and I don't guess you can do it. I was trying it the other day. I was trying it on my server. So anyway, let's try to see if XP will even run. It uses, this machine. This is i5 is only. Yeah, it's even. I don't know if it'll even start at all. Okay. Start Windows normal. Okay. It's. I think it's quit running. I think Microsoft somehow killed it because it was, nothing's happened to it. I hardly ever turn it on. But I had it set up as an enterprise system in the BIOS, and not the BIOS. I can't remember. I had it set up as an enterprise system. It was getting updates until 2019 or 2020, whenever it was that they quit. And not too long after that, it quit working. Oh, yeah, it says it's not genuine now. And I went ahead, and that's happened before. And if you say resolve, it doesn't work. If you say activate it, it says it must be activated. Yes, I want to activate it. It was already been activated for years. And this is the machine I had it activated on and running, yet it's doing this now. And it could be, I did try to enlarge the drive space because it was filled up. Maybe that caused it. That's the only other thing I can think of. It's not showing anything right now, so that could be a good sign. Not showing an error, is what I'm saying. So, yeah, if this one here would have, no, it's just going back to it. I think that's all it ever does. Activate Windows now. How many times have I clicked, let's activate Windows? No, I don't want to register. And I have seen it not work when you say that, but if you say, yes, I want to register, then just activate Windows. That's what I'm going to do because I don't want to fool around. There, now it's finally checking connectivity. This is not the video I was wanting to make. But, you got to go with the flow, whatever you run into, try to get by it. Unable to establish a connection. That's what it says. You can do telephone or remind me later. I'll say remind me later and I'll shut this down. So I can't run Windows. I could try It'll go to the boot, drop back to the boot screen. It might show my username. Yeah, that's what it'll do, and that's all you can do. Okay. And I went around and around trying to fix it. Now I'm pretty sure I have. I'll try React OS because it's a live system. It would go, and it actually what I want is something old. So if I have it, yeah, I should have it because I have a backup drive plugged into it, so I should have it. I don't know why that's in there, but that's all right. Yeah, it should just go by. It won't be anything in it. Okay, now that's what I want to change. Yeah, first I guess I'll have to. I think you just choose a different one and it'll automatically remove it, if I remember right. Okay, yeah, I don't keep much on them, but on the backup drive I should have. I haven't had this machine on in quite a while. There it is right there. These are, I have a whole lot more ISOs for different Linux distros and Windows and all kinds of stuff. There it is. What else is in there? Yeah. But this is, I put on there a Windows clone, ReactOS 0.4.8. That might just work. Won't be all that heavy on the resources either. Now this is a live CD, so click that. See, now it's changed to ReactOS. What do I have? 64 gigabyte of video memory. This thing's only got 256 total. Base memory, 1536 megabyte. That's a weird size, isn't it? I'm gonna leave it like that. So about 1.5 gig. I have 4 gig of memory in this, so that's how I've been running stuff. What else? Make sure I didn't mess something up, where it won't work. Doesn't look like it. I'm trying to do different things, There it comes right there. Says it'll auto capture the keyboard. Oh, that's small. I can't see that at all. What is it on? English United States. Okay, English United States. This is an older version. The one I have on my other machine doesn't ask all these questions. Oh, this is just an install, not a live one. Well, it's not very long to install it, but I'm not going to do that, so I'll just go on and get back to what I was trying to do. So anyway, yeah, that's something if you need, you're trying to use, you're running servers that, like this was built in 2011, and you need a browser that will let you use like ILO and HP, and I don't remember what they call it in IBM, the other servers and stuff. Power off. Okay, so that didn't work. I'm going to take that out of there because there's one other thing. I could have something installed on it. Let's do it like that. Leave it empty and try one more time. I'll probably have something actually installed in that virtual machine there. I usually, whatever was the last thing I installed. Could have been ReactOS. No bootable medium found. I just remembered. Well, this would be a little older version, but in settings, no, not there. The newer version has, or I didn't realize. So what I've got is Linux Test Box and WinXP Pro VDI, and here's the ones that are kind of attached, so they'll show up. See, that went right to the last one I tried. Windows 10. Yeah, I couldn't run Windows 10 on here. It wouldn't give me wouldn't let me run no browser anyway. Yeah, I didn't. For some reason I didn't catch on to that menu right there. Well, it goes away when you're not on it. It goes away, and so I never see it. Kind of a dumb design. Okay, and why do they have to make desktop software look like a phone? I hate that. You don't see 3 little dots, you know, up in the somewhere in the area, and then that one there is even worse because it disappears. Okay, so what am I going to do? Okay, the thing is still running, the server, and so I'm going to go to. Let's make sure it looks like it's working. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to switch to the wireless mics. Okay. Looks like we're all right. Well, I guess I'll turn it this way. I'll do a little selfie for a minute. There we go. Now, this is not going to be good video. But right there, that's the door to my room. But over here is in the closet. That's where the server is. So, that's where we're going to go. And I'm going to have to get up carefully because my foot still hurts. I'm going to turn this around this way. Ah! Man, I can hardly get up. I don't even remember. I just remember it started hurting. I didn't notice I hurt myself or anything. That's really weird. Okay, so here's the server in the dark. Now there's the server with some light. Okay, so that's where I have it. It's sitting on top of a filing cabinet in my closet, and I have a board crossing the shelves, so it's mostly off. And a lot of stuff's taken out because I'll show this while I'm at it. Well, I installed this to where I could have it in here. You know, it makes quite a bit of heat, 1500 BTU. That I put a dryer vent up there. I don't know if you can see it. I can see the fan in the screen. I bought a vent fan, ran for 2 hours, and then it started making noise and slowing down. And so I had that floor fan, and I just put it up there, and that's the way I've been using it because it's real hard for me to get up there and do all that work. And so I haven't redone it yet. And I bought a new fan set of 3 fans. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is hard shut it down. Everything's good. No memory, no errors or anything. All the hard drives are lit up like they should be. So we're gonna hard shut it down. There we go. Now I'm just gonna turn it back on. I'm not gonna power it off unless I have to. See if we get any errors while it's booting up. I don't think there's going to be errors coming up. The drives take a little while to start lighting up. But, well, let's just turn around here and look up together. Okay, yeah, we still don't have anything posted on the screen. It takes a while. I've got it set on showing more info when it boots, so it does take a little longer than it would have to, than it did when I first got it. Okay, now the drives are showing up. Might be able to see the lights there. Everything's green, no errors. Okay, if I can hobble on back over here. Screen, how's it? Oh, I had to put all my weight on that left foot and I like to fell. Okay, let me get this switched back to the camera 2. Okay, now you can see when it boots up, we can see. Okay. Yeah, I have to, getting kind of lucky here. When I unplug it, unplugs those cameras from the power chargers, those phones. Sometimes it makes the app shut down, and then sometimes if you lose connection to OBS, sometimes it won't just connect back up. You have to shut OBS and open it back up. But I don't have 2 long cables in there in use, so now while I'm Yeah, while that's booting up, I'm gonna check. I won't switch. I'll leave you in this, but I can go to the browser and make sure my stream's okay and everything. It's kind of confusing when you get so much going on. I used to be good at doing all that kind of stuff. Okay, now let's see. Well, let's try. Opened up my browser, but it's not doing anything yet. Okay, it's getting close to where it was. Oh, it hasn't got to there yet. Okay. But now Smart Array initializing. Now this is fixing to come up to that point where it's stuck. I think it, no, it didn't already go by it yet. Okay. But this time I have the wireless keyboard turned on too, so I should have, maybe I'll have a keyboard this time. And the USB keyboard's connected to the other machine, the Lenovo i5. Okay, we're right back to where we were. So it's not, there's no errors. It's not that it can't see the hard drives or anything. Or that there we go. It's going on by. There we go. Booting up. Okay, now I want to show something while I'm here. Oh, that doesn't work. I went on my regular keyboard by accident. Well, we'll let it boot up. But did you see all those kernels in there? Yeah, this is a normal boot up. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll hit the up. I usually use the up and down arrow keys. Now we can see, you can't read it, I know, because it's so tiny. I can't read it unless I get up there close to it, stand up, you know. And now I ain't getting up and down as I have to right now. I'm in sad shape. I can't believe that happened. Oh, shoot. I dropped my pillow that I put behind my neck, and it hit my camera and moved it. Let's see if I can fix it. Which way do we need to go? Didn't move it too much. It's still wobbling though, isn't it? That's why I bought me a new tripod. I got a new tripod now. I can't really, oh, wrong way. I'm hitting it with a pencil. It's not really doing much good, is it? I think I went the wrong way again. Finally. Yeah, and that's just holding a phone. But I put my, my 4K camera on the tripod, and I put that phone on there. Okay, it's booted up. I don't have it. I installed with the Fedora 32 net install server edition, and so used to you could install. I did install my desktop, but it won't boot straight into it. And used to it always would. So I think I might have tried a couple of times to make it work, but it's real simple. It's booted up to command line. It tells you the IP address of Cockpit, which is a remote admin ops software that I have on here. And you log in, just put your username, and I was thinking, am I going to be showing something I shouldn't show? I keep forgetting which keyboard to type on. Okay, I just typed yes, and I accidentally changed this to a different. I typed on my keyboard and it changed it to a different camera. Okay, there we go. Okay. It doesn't show what you're typing, which is good when you're making a video, because I half the time I'll forget. And you type StartX, which and also when you're in a terminal window, command line, you can use your arrow keys to go scroll back and forth through the like four to 10 of the most recent things you've typed in there. So I just hit the arrow key up once and it goes to Start X and I hit enter. And it'll be right up. That's just the way I wanted to install it with the net installer because mostly because I wanted to show it in a video and it would, you know, and the net installer, you can connect via VNC remote desktop and you can, so I connected with it on this machine and then I did it from here remotely but on my own home network and was able to make a video of it. I didn't know till I got to that, got it done that it wasn't gonna, you know, bring in this boot screen with a regular login window. I like that. I don't like, especially on this giant monitor. I can't really read it very well at all. It's just too small. And I'm sure there might be a way you could make the text bigger, but I didn't want to fool around with it that much. Okay. Now, what I was going to try to do, but I got mixed up and hit the wrong, so I hit the big keyboard because that's the one that's generally always hooked up to this machine. So it was just one of those glitches that, you know, hard shut down, turn it back on, and it worked fine. I just wanted to make a video of it. That's why I went ahead and did this way. Okay, so trying to think. Speaking of remote desktop, maybe that's, no, I can't, that won't work because it's on 4K, you know, 1440. I know it's bigger than that. It's high, it's ultra high 4K, whatever the heck they call it. It's 33 something by 20 something or something like that. And when you try to connect to it on a remote desktop, you see about a fourth of the screen is what you see, and it's a real pain to try to work that way. So I'm trying to think. I was thinking about going into ILO, so what, you know, like I was trying to do on this machine, because I know I can do it on the server itself. But let's see what the resources are doing here for a minute. But like I said, it would be really hard to show it, so it'd be best to do it from that machine, stream from that machine, like in another video. And of course, the camera's not clear enough for you to read anything. So when the text is, you know, normal size, everything is fine. Yeah, here's a graphic layout. It uses a pretty good amount of resources. Oh, there you go. You can see it shows the CPUs when you get just the right spot. There you go. 24 cores. So cool. Now in a minute here, the graph will come on across. You can't read that, can you? Let's see. We're using 0.8 gigabyte of 62.9. You know, 64 gig install, but you know, you always lose some. And processors are not doing much of anything right now because this machine's just sitting there running. And no network traffic. And it taking a while to get across there, but that I wouldn't leave that like that. I always leave the system resources. This is because that way, if anything gives me trouble or I just need to see some, you know, like Firefox, sometimes you get on some website and it starts using a lot of memory. I've seen different things climb up to 3.5 gigabytes of memory. But anyway, if it's starting to act funny, you know, you can go look and see what's using the most resources. So, system monitor. Okay, so this is KDE's system monitor. I was trying to look at what it's actually called. Some of these apps aren't, I guess maybe this one is called system monitor. I'm not sure. So, yeah, in order for me to show ILO and all the specs in there and all what's been going on, which I want to go in there and look, I would have to be on the streaming from this machine. I actually can. I could open up OBS and then set it up as a backup stream and then kill this stream and it would go straight to it. But right now, let's stay on the camera, and I'm just going to reboot. I just wanted to kind of give it a chance to completely boot up and everything. And yeah, I've got an 8 terabyte backup drive on this one, and it used to be a copy of the other one, but now I had to separate them when I got this machine, you know. Okay, so what am I going to do? I want to show you the, oh wait. Yeah, that's, oh wait. What I'm thinking of is, I know you can't see it very good, but I can't remember what it was I did to get it to, you know, normally you only get, it only saves back about 3 or 4 kernels, and the boot kernels. And I set it up to go up to like 15 or something. And oddly enough, let me look in my documents, because I probably have something in there about I can't even get my fingers on the right keys on this keyboard. There we go. User manuals. I don't think I know where I put that. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and reboot it. And the main thing I want to show, because it would take too long to put it back where it was, where in my videos that I made the other day. Okay, so that desktop background, I just started using it. It's just one of the defaults. It would be so pretty if it wasn't that water looks so fake. They shouldn't have photoshopped it so much and ruined that picture. Would have been a beautiful picture. Okay, so that's just my opinion. Okay, yeah, I'm going to reboot now, and we'll see how well it does. It should do okay. But oh yeah, while it's rebooting, I'll just leave it on that, of course, but make sure we catch it. But I'm going to be checking my stream again. The other day I made a couple of videos and I wasn't checking the stream, and I lost audio for 10 minutes once, and I think the second one went okay, didn't have problems. But I lost audio for 10 minutes once, and everything's all right. I think the second one went okay, didn't have problems. But I lost audio for, well, I just heard it, so I think when I turn that on, it comes into the stream too. But it all looks good, so. And it's, like I said, it takes a while. I'm listening. I've got that machine only, it's not plugged into my amplifiers and speakers. I just have a set of headphones plugged into it. But I'll do that until the blue screen goes away. If I can remember, that's the thing. All right. So what I want to do this time is catch it, and I'll show about the kernels and stuff, and you know, kind of go over what happened and what I did about it. But basically, what I did about it, I set I waited until they fixed it in the upstream. That's what I did. But the funny thing is, and I tried to figure out how to fix it at first, but you know, I didn't just spend, you know, a lot of time on it, because I knew they would fix it sooner or later. But it did take way longer than I thought, because I ended up, well, I told it to save like, you know, 10 kernels, and then I started to save more, and I tried to also set it to, well, at first, at the day that it quit working right, I made sure I never let it delete. You know, new kernels they will delete. You know, they keep like the
the last 4, I think it is, and they'll delete your good kernel when you're like that. So it wouldn't. It would boot up with some stuff. They weren't really error messages, but okay, it's beginning to change. Beginning to boot up. They weren't really error messages, but it wasn't going to boot. There was something I'd really never seen before. It wasn't a video driver error or anything like that. I kind of suspected it might have been that they stopped support for hyperthreading because they were saying it was vulnerable and you could turn it off, but then of course you'd lose some of your performance. And I didn't want to do that, so I left it as it was. I'm not using it as a real server right now. I'm just serving my website up on an old laptop still. And so I went and researched and figured, I knew you could do it, I just didn't know how to do it, didn't remember how to do it. I figured out how to tell it to boot to the oldest kernel that was in there and don't delete it. But I was afraid I might not have done it right, so I also set it to keep the like 15 or 20 kernels, to make sure, even if it didn't work the way, I guess I was fine as far as telling it to boot on the old kernel. I guess that did work. Yeah, it was working, because what I would have to do is catch it during boot and use the arrow keys on the keyboard to go back down to the older kernel and hit enter to get it to boot to it. And that was a real pain, especially when it was in that error mode, when it wouldn't, like I was just saying today, that's the time before when my keyboard wasn't responding. So I had to hurry up. And I don't know, it might or might not be, well, no, it should be responding. But see, how many do I have? Oh, I got more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12 kernels. Now, what happened, that's the one last one that would boot. And what ended up happening is the last update they gave, when Fedora 32 went EOL into life, it started working again. And at first, I didn't even know they were going to EOL. I hadn't kept track of it. And I was happy, when it was working. But I thought, you know what, I'm not going to go back and delete that old kernel in case something goes wonky again, So I set it to save, I think, 15 or 20 kernels or something. But, okay, so I go off into other rabbit tracks. You see, yeah, I'll go ahead and boot it up again. There's no point in booting it to that old kernel, and I'm sure it still works, but there's no point in that. Let me think. What I'm thinking here is I just remembered that what I said about setting up a backup stream, and then you stop this stream. I forgot what you got to do I think you just hit stop. Yeah, I can stop the stream but leave the recording going to make sure I don't lose anything. And it should just go straight to that other machine. I don't know. The only thing is, this one's a 1080p and the other one will be 1440. That might not work right. It might, yeah. Probably better if they were 2 separate videos. I suppose I could try it just to see what happens. I've never done it that way. I have done what I'm talking about before a few times. Okay, it's already booted up, and that's how it normally does. So it doesn't take super long to boot. It takes way longer to boot the Lenovo i5 because it's got some things that hang up that it tries to, I set up not NAS, but anyway, network shared drive. I can't remember the name of what they're called. Let's see. Let me get my. It throws me all off when I'm on the wrong keyboard. Everything is just wrong. Okay. So yeah, it's really funny because it has a little graphic while it's booting if you don't take it off of it like I do. And then when it finishes booting, it's in the command line. It's like, what? I don't like working in the command line. I swap letters and numbers, and I make mistakes real easy, so too easy. So I've always stuck with graphic stuff. unless I really need to do something, then that's the best way to do it, or the only way to do it. So once it gets finished booting, okay, now here's what I'm thinking now. I can do this. Let's see. Oh, this camera, okay, my 4K camera is plugged into the Lenovo. It won't be plugged into this machine automatically, but the reason I can do it is because all the wireless stuff, I'm still on the wireless mic, aren't I? Well, that's okay, because also my SM58 is not plugged in. You know, it's either or. I either plug it into one machine or the other, and same thing with the USB on the 4K camera. But I've got two wireless cameras and a wireless mic that's still working. As long as that keeps working, I can go to this machine, because I can't. The only way I can really think to do all that, to really explain the best I can, is to switch to the other machine. So I'm gonna try it. If it acts up, then I'll still have a backup recording from on the other machine. I mean, if it completely breaks this stream, I don't think it would. It might just give you an error and say they're not compatible. It'll probably say, do you want to make the other one smaller, which will probably make everything not fit. That's why I had to set this new one up I don't have enough upload bandwidth. I've got 200 down and 10 up. I don't have enough to stream the full resolution of the screen. Let me see, where is that? That's Ethernet. Where's the monitor stuff? I don't know if it's up there. Well, anyway, I don't even have it up there. Okay, so let's see if I can. I've got the one I built up for this machine, and then the original one. It's always untitled. I don't know if I can do it that way. I don't know if I'm set up to where I can. Oh, I remember. You do it in the settings. You go in here and you say, this is a backup stream. I think it'll actually work if you just start it up and kill the other one. I think it'll just work. But let's see. Stream. Primary ingest YouTube server. YouTube. I always see that gaming. I'm like, what? YouTube/gaming. Okay, yeah, and backup YouTube ingest server. So I think if I do that, that's how I've always done it before. And then you just start it up, and it doesn't do anything until you kill the other stream. Let me go ahead and kind of look through make sure I got enough cameras working to. Let's see, I can show the desktop of it. Yep, Cam 1 working away, it looks like. Yep. Okay. I'm just laying it over there out of the way when I'm not using that one. 2. You should be able to see me waving. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and 4, of course, it won't be black. Okay. And then, oh yeah. Okay, so the audio, whoops, Cam 2 again. There we go. So I need to switch this one. I do believe I have them set up the same way. Yeah. Okay, now we got audio. And I'll just mute the SM58 because sometimes you get a little bit, well, it probably wouldn't since it's not plugged into the machine, but well, sometimes when you don't have one end plugged in, but you have the other one plugged in, say you touch the two, you'll get noise if you touch it or touch them together or anything, which I'm not. Anyway, best thing to do is mute the other mic if you're not using it. That's video, okay. I was looking to see if that one there was audio, but that's video, okay. Now, I'm going to want to go to the desktop of this machine. So I'm still going to need to, let's look at it one more time and make sure I got it right. Oh yeah, you got to start it. Okay, we have audio on both machines. We have the cameras on both machines, camera 1 and camera 2, and that'll be good. Of course, I really don't want to use the one pointing at the monitor. I'll be using the desktop. Okay, and you can actually switch back too. You can start this one back up. Yeah, well, let's just try this. I haven't tried it in a while, so trying to figure out what's the best way to. Yeah, I think I'll open up the. Yeah, leave this on desktop and open up Firefox and go to my stream monitoring page. And it's kind of funny, this big old powerful machine in Firefox opens up rather slowly. I do have 2 pages opening up. It might be it, but I don't actually know why I still have it. I used to like that, but see, I always put that little search bar up there for Google search, and well, and one thing I like to be able to kill this page and have one that I'll open that's not really doing a lot of resources. But anyway, I don't know. Okay. There, yeah, there's more on this one. That's why I say I came back to this one and I'm like, where's what I'm looking for? Okay, so there we go. Okay, so now we can see that page that's dark and okay on the camera. Now I have to start this one. Oh, I was trying to get my mouse down there and it wouldn't go down there. No, because you got the wrong mouse now. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. Very confusing to me now. 2 machines with the same stuff on it, you know. Okay. Start streaming. Okay, it's streaming. I think I will make sure. It's streaming to the backup server, so it's not doing anything to this stream yet. So, yeah, we got a video being made. Yeah, I'll leave that just like that. Now, oh, and I didn't open up my system resource so I can monitor them. Yeah, and I can look into ILO on this. I can show you what I was trying to talk about. I don't remember stuff good. I have to show and tell. Okay, so oh, it's gotten poor probably because I got 2 of them running. Yeah, you have 2 different resolutions. You need to configure the streams to have the same resolution. Okay, so this is not going to be possible then. All right, the answer to that question. You can't do it that way. Let's close this stuff that we're not going to use. Okay, that's kind of what I thought, but I wasn't sure. So, stop stream. I mean, you killed your stream. Okay, so I wonder if you can run 2 primary. Well, obviously I didn't have enough. My bandwidth is not good enough for. This is a 4K stream. You know, it's a lower end 1440, but it is a 4K stream, so I can't run a 4K and a 1080 at the same time without having some trouble. It might have quit after a little while. You know, if it's the same resolution, I'd have been able to. I'd let them both run for a while. Okay, so Learn something. Now, let's go ahead and get to where Firefox would be. Actually, I should probably just open it back up. What I'm going to do then, it's going to have to be continued in another new video. Yeah, this one will be a, a much better video anyway. Much better quality. And I know I have bookmarks that I can probably find to show how you do this. This is really a good thing to know. I've known about it for years. I'm not talking about streaming now. I'm talking about what I did to the server to keep the old kernel. I've had different times, not very often, but once in a while a kernel update breaks something, but the old one still works. And I've done that before. Used the old kernel. Not very often, so I just remembered you could do it. I didn't remember how to do it. So, yeah, see, it's back to excellent now. Bitrate 0 lower than recommend auto stream bitrate. How come? I wonder why it's doing that. That's weird. Hope it's still working. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Let's go see, make sure it's, oh, I can turn on the sound. Make sure it is working. If it's 0, it could be that, yeah, it's working. Okay, yeah. I think I'll leave that up. I think that machine can handle it. And for a short time anyway. All right, so here's what I'll do now. I will shut this stream down and then start streaming on that machine. I won't have my 4K camera, but the me camera. That's okay. If I need to show my face, I can do it on this one over here, pick it up. As long as it's all still working and everything. Oh, I need to change that back to, could do that right now, I'll forget. Not desktop, camera 1. Okay, I need to change this back to primary stream. Or I will not have, it might not, I think it'll still work, but I don't want it, I don't want to risk having any problems. Primary server, oh, legacy RTMP, okay. Primary YouTube server, I usually don't mess with these once I get them going the way I'll need them going, so. Okay, that should be good. Kind of makes me worry that I'll forget to unmute that. Yeah. I always do a test before well, let's just do it. Home machine, what did I do? Oh, I unmuted it on the machine I'm streaming from right now. Yeah, so you got a little echo background. It's far away from me, but you heard that, I imagine. I'm actually I'm going against my normal way of operating because I've gotten so forgetful these days. So both of those are on, and so at least I would have audio. But the SM58, like I said, is not plugged in. Actually, I can plug it in once I stop this stream. That's right. And because my wireless is not completely dependable, it could quit at any time. SM58 usually doesn't quit. All right. That would be ready to start. That's the way to do that. Oh, and I'm going to put that over on the monitor of the stream. That way I'll know for sure when it quits. I got it on the wrong camera, didn't I? Dang it. Why didn't you tell me? I can't handle what monitor in the chat. You might understand that after me going in circles here forever. I can't, if there was somebody there, there's nobody there anyway. Nobody has been there. But if there was, I can't handle all that going on in my brain. It's just not that fast. And this, I did it again. I went straight back to camera 1. Are you crazy? I want camera 2. Now, yeah, I thought once I bought this server and everything, I'd be able to monitor my stream on the old machine and stuff, and I tried and it couldn't handle it. And I was having trouble with bandwidth at the time. I may try it again because I really need, I used to use a laptop, but it's what I'm using for a web server now. But I used to keep the laptop running so I could monitor my stream. But these pages, they use too much resources since they changed their code 6 months or a year ago now. Okay, everything's good. Excellent stream off of the Lenovo i5. Now, now I can go and say goodbye. Okay, so bye for just, I'm just going to shut this one down and start right back up on the HP server. Yeah, okay, it's all good there, right? I like to know that it's all working before I, yeah. All right, so, and can't leave that playing, the audio, it will be heard. It will echo, it causes an echo from my speakers. Okay, so, yeah, I'm ready to go on this one. So, and I'll start the other one once this one is shut down.